Well, welcome everyone to the second half of the Super Bowl party. Let me introduce you to the MiContact Center business, which is actually a sophisticated customer experience platform that's designed specifically to work across all Mitel call controls. It's interesting that for many of us, when we think of our customers' experience with us as a company, we'll focus on our ability to receive phone calls from our clientele. Often a company's customer will navigate through an automated attendant. They'll then wait on hold while they listen to music and announcements advising them that someone will be with them shortly. And certainly MiContact Center business can provide these traditional ways for your customers to reach out and get assistance. But the world has changed, and it's going to continue to change. Today, one third of the population is actually made up of millennials, and billions of people around the world have mobile phones. More and more people are using computers and tablets, other digital devices as part of their everyday life. And many of these folks would rather communicate with your company via digital channels. Think outside the box here. Email, web chat, of course, text or SMS messages. Those are all kind of traditional forms of communication that we're used to today. But maybe your company has a Facebook presence and you would like your clientele to be able to use Facebook Messenger to communicate with you. Or maybe you have delivery folks or salespeople that are on the road a lot and you'd like them to be able to use WhatsApp to communicate back with you. MiContact Center business is designed to give your customers the freedom to interact with you on their preferred device using the media that works best for them. So let's take a look at how MiContact Center business will address all of these needs and requirements for today's businesses. Now I'm going to use the word representative to describe your folks within your company who are responsible for providing excellent customer experiences for your clientele. So we'll start by taking a look at the day in the life of your representatives. Now, what we're looking at here is the WebIgnite client. This is a browser-based tool used by your representatives to be able to respond to those inbound communications from your clientele, regardless of how those clients choose to reach out. You'll notice here I am set up as a voice and multimedia agent. And of course, typically your reps will start their shift by logging in to start their day. And this log in and log out capability allows supervisors and management to gauge how productive their employees are throughout the day by tracking the representative's availability and efficiency at responding to inbound interactions from your clientele. Now, once logged in, the rep will be able to manage their time and availability. You saw that I clicked on my picture and I received this pop-up. Here's the log out. Maybe I need to disable the ringer on my phone so I can work on a special project. Or maybe I need to put myself into a temporarily unavailable state just so I can step away from my desk, whether it's my afternoon break or maybe my lunch break. Maybe I need to do some learning or some team meeting. I've got a team meeting, or maybe I need to visit the restroom. Now, when I select one of these, of course, that's going to be tracked by supervisors using both real-time and historical reporting information so that they can see, how much time does Jill actually spend on break? How much time does she spend on the phones? So, of course, I visit the restroom, come back to my desk. I can see how long I've been on that break. I can now click on my picture, click available, and you'll see everything goes back to green, indicating now that I am in fact idle and available to receive inbound communications. Now, we'll start off with a phone call to give you some live action and make this a little bit more exciting. Keep in mind that you can definitely use a Mitel physical phone if that's what your folks prefer to use, but we do also have the option of using the MyVoice Connect soft phone. 100% of your time would be spent within the WebIgnite client as part of the solution. And of course, you would be answering your inbound calls, web chats, text messages, and so on from within this interface. So here comes the first phone call. We'll see an inbound call pop up. Please keep in mind I do have my sound turned off, but notice that the headset icon is ringing. It tells me I have an incoming call. And of course, it provides me with all the details surrounding that phone call. I can click on the green check mark to answer it. And you'll notice that all my mid-call features are available to me here, allowing me, like I said, to work 100% within this interface. So if I need to put the call on hold, very easy to do so. You notice the pause button on the headset icon. You can see the call is on hold. I'll remove that from hold, and you'll see that, of course, I can hang up. Dial pad's available to me. I can do both supervised and blind transfers with presence information. I can do conference calls. I can even further classify this call. So yes, it came into the museum's team, but maybe it's specifically a customer issue, maybe a billing dispute, or perhaps it's a new sales contact, or maybe they had a technical support question, or maybe they're just asking about store information. What this can do for my supervisors and management team is allow them to understand, yes, we had 400 calls come in today, but of that number, how many were just asking about our hours of operation or our location versus those tougher questions. So it helps you to just really understand the types of things that you need to train your employees on in order to be able to support the clientele. Now, of course, I can actually flag this call for a follow-up. So if I need to get back to Betty by Monday with some additional information, or maybe I need to request help. I might have an irate customer, or I'm struggling to find answers to the questions they're asking. I can reach out and bring in the help that I might need. Now I'm going to go ahead and hang up this call. You'll notice that I go into a work timer where I am temporarily unavailable to receive inbound phone calls. That might be so I can finish inputting information into a customer relationship management database, or maybe I just need to stretch my neck or take a sip of water. Of course, if I can see that calls or web chats or emails are starting to stack up over here, I can always go ahead and clear my work timer before it expires. And of course, that will make me idle and available, ready to take that next inbound communication. Now, to round this out, I thought we'd take a look at some of the multimedia capability. I'm going to use this fictitious company called Bank of Mitel, and I picked a bank just simply because all of us are familiar with banking. So some of the questions that will be asked back and forth here are related to that topic. Like any web page out there, you can see we've provided our clients with our address and, of course, our email address as well as a phone number. And down here in the Contact Us overlay, you'll notice that we've set it up again, phone number, email address, and of course the live chat functionality. Now I'm going to go ahead and start on the live chat. Now with email, web chat, text messages, you can always put a web form behind the scenes to gather information about your customer before they actually get through to either the virtual agent or the live agent. You do have that flexibility to send web chats direct to a live person. And this web form can be completely customized, depending on what types of information you'd like to gather. You could have radio buttons, drop-down lists, text boxes for people to type into, and so on. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on Start Live Chat, but I want to come over here to the WebIgnite client and just confirm for you that in fact my inbox is indeed empty. Please do bear in mind that, again, we can send that live web chat directly through to a live agent. But what we've decided to show you is our team up that we did with Google Artificial Intelligence to create a virtual agent. So here you can see my virtual agent has started typing. Maya is her name. She's greeted me by name, the customer, as Betty Jones, and she's given me some intent. What are some of the things that she's able to assist with? So we're clearly letting your client know that in fact this is indeed a virtual agent. So I'm going to say, pretty basic question. I would like to deposit a check. Now, of course, these types of questions are very often served by an FAQ or frequently asked questions section of your website. But we all know customers very often don't go and search on the website. They'd rather have somebody else answer for them. So again, this is a pretty easy question, but she's come back with a response. To deposit a check, I can either do it via my mobile app, I could go to a local branch, or maybe the nearest post office. I'm going to say I would like to go to a branch. And we're going to get a response on that. She's going to ask me where I am. And of course, that makes sense for any credit union or bank that's out there that has multiple locations. In order to provide me with the closest branch, she needs to know exactly where I am. Here you can see she's come back telling me that she's at 15886 Clayton Road. And of course, she's given me a link to Google Maps showing me that location. And of course, giving me the option to search out some directions to find out how to get there. Now, of course, we can definitely do those easier questions, but we can also assist with the more robust questions, if you will. So, doing database dips, verifying people, authenticating them, that type of thing. So I'm going to ask here, what is the status of my loan application? And we're going to get a response to authenticate. So yes, I said my name was Betty, but we want to make sure I am definitely that person. So they're asking for my loan application number and part of my passcode. Now, of course, do keep in mind, data in transit is 128-bit encrypted, and data at rest is 256-bit encrypted. So no worries there from a security perspective. Plus, there's many ways that you might choose to authenticate someone via a web chat. So this is not the only mechanism that it can be done. And of course, you can see I've been authenticated. My loan status has been approved. And depending on what I ask next, it might be necessary to finally send me over to a live agent. So the customer can definitely do that themselves by typing in a word such as agent, and you can always front end and explain to them that they have that flexibility. If I come back over here to the WebIgnite client, and if you don't blink, you'll actually see the web chat go through the queue. There it is, one chat waiting. And just like the phone call, we get the inbound pop-up. I can go ahead and click the green check mark to accept. Notice that I do have the entire history of the web chat that Betty had with the virtual agent, so I know exactly where they are in the flow of things. And of course, I've got templates available to me, both personal reply templates and global reply templates that just allow you to make sure that you're avoiding typos, avoiding any grammar issues, and of course, presenting that unified, consistent response to those repetitive types of questions. So again, great tool, all kinds of different media supported, including voice, web chat, email, SMS, and open media, so thinking outside the box. And of course, back to you, Chuck. Thanks very much, everyone, for your time.